I want to see if I can pull up the comments in real time. Uh-oh, I can't hear anybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Something happened. Oh, sweet. Holy shit. Brian, you have a real connection and it's not loud. Brian, testing 1 2.
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow, look at that thumbnail picture of Colten that they used too. That's amazing.
Right.
Colten, what's wrong with
fan.
you? Why are you doing a podcast with us? Shouldn't you be like in an ice bath or like getting your back rubbed or like doing something like that?
I'm just finishing up dinner now, and then I'll start doing some recovery work, some massage gun, and probably put the Normatex on, and then do some
So-
stretching. But I don't think we have anything on the schedule for tomorrow, so I don't have to be up super early or anything.
You think the fact that you're doing this podcast is indicative of how much fun we had last time?
Sure.
Is our mullet master in the top 20 so far? I don't think so. Someone just asked that in the comments.
No, 32nd, I think.
Those first two events, probably like it's almost like Dave's like, hey, what can I do to really beat down on Colten? What did you think about those first two events?
I think they were good events. It's just stuff I need to get better at. Like the swimming, that's something that I purposely wasn't training a ton before just a few months ago, because there was things keeping me out of the games that I needed to work on. So I didn't really want to justify doing a bunch of swimming training when I had other things to work on. I kind of need to put first things first, because it doesn't matter how fast I can swim if I can't get to the games because of my rowing or whatever other movements. But I've been doing a lot more of that lately, but I'm just not there yet. And then with the sprint, I got short legs, man, and I'm just not that fast. So something else I need to work on too. It takes time.
Did you know the story about how? Do you know the Matt Fraser story about how he joined the high school track team?
Yeah.
Are you going to go home and join a high school track team?
I'm actually friends with the track coach, so I could.
That's awesome.
So I could, now I can make some more time for that now. It's just, beforehand I really couldn't justify, doing a bunch of sprint work and swim work, because I needed to get better, like at rowing and wall balls, and to get to the games first. So, I decided to put first things first. And now that I'm here and I know that my fitness level is good enough to qualify, I can start spending more time on those things.
Al Aziz just says in the YouTube comments, taking responsibility. I love this guy. I know. I love this guy too, actually. What a great guy to get behind, right? Did you ice bath today, Colten?
No, I didn't. I was thinking about it, but I didn't have a towel, and they were moving us through their areas pretty quickly, so I didn't really have a good time where I could hop in and dry off before we had to change and kind of move over to the next venue. It was kind of a rat race this morning.
I think it was all day. There was a lot going on for you guys today.
Yeah, we didn't really have much of an opportunity to you pretty much had to bring everything that you needed with you right at the beginning, because we didn't have any time to go back and get stuff or anything like that. So, there's a few athletes that didn't really have much food and things like that, and I had some food, but I did have like my blender bottle full of electrolytes and stuff. It actually opened up and spilled all over my bag when they were moving it to the bus when I was doing the swim. So that kind of sucked. But
hey, on a side note, before I forget, totally off subject, when you did the podcast with Arm & Hammer, you told him you were reading Range, and I read Range too. Like I probably maybe we were reading it at the same time. But that's kind of weird. And I really, really enjoyed that book. And if you enjoyed that book, you should check out this book, Bounce.
Is it
Bounce.
the same author or is it a different one?
No, different author. A lot of the same stories. This guy was the world's best ping pong player in the UK. And he talks about, hey, what makes someone great? Is it practice or is it talent? And basically his whole argument is that it's practice and circumstance. And you would absolutely love it. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's my philosophy for a lot of things. It gets kind of old of people talking to me like, oh, wall balls just aren't your thing, man, or like this isn't your thing because you're short. But I kind of look at it like a math equation. Like if I do X amount of them, I'll be good enough at them, and I'll be competitive with them. I mean, I'm probably starting at a lower point than taller athletes for like wall balls. Let's use that as an example. So I have to do, like, at my mind, if I just do enough reps, if I do enough reps more than them, I'll be good enough at it. I mean, and it's the same thing for, say, handstand push-ups. They're going to need to do a lot more of them than me to get on the same level as me. So, I mean, I think if I just put in enough time and practice and train well, I can fill in a lot of those holes.
I would be willing to bet you $50, Colten, that when you said it's like a math equation, that Brian chubbed up a little bit, that there was like some movement down there.
I had to mute myself. I got so excited.
Did you make any friends today, Colten?
I tried not to, but
were you successful?
No.
Who did you accidentally become friends with today?
I've been hanging out with like Roy Gambo.
Oh my God! Now Brian's at half mast. That's his favorite athlete. Jesus Christ!
I haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance to talk to Roy yet, but I'm glad that you are.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with him and a handful of other guys, but I don't know. I'm not really here to make friends. If I do, cool, but that's not really an objective of mine. I mean, a lot of the guys here are really cool and they're good people, but it's not what I'm into right now.
Colten, when Dave drops the twists for a workout on you, like the fins in the kayak or like the extra muscle ups and the combination of rings and bars, what's your general response to those little nuances?
You just gotta try and not think about it too much. I mean, it is what it is. Like the fins and the kayak were, I wasn't super excited about it because I never swam with fins. I've never used a kayak. So maybe disadvantage. And Allie's over here smirking at me because she's been telling me for like a year to buy a kayak so that we can go kayaking.
You're fucking killing me, dude.
I've been telling her, and I'm like, it's a waste of time. Like, I gotta train, I gotta do all this stuff, and now she thinks she's pretty cool now. She told me to buy a kayak like a year ago.
Fuck this romance shit. I ain't kayaking with you. See, I told you.
Sevan, that's the only environment in which these athletes go kayaking. Scott Panchik said the only time he's been in a kayak was when he took his wife out for a little date on a kayak one time.
Oh, this is killing me. Have you ever put on flippers besides today?
No, we got to mess around with them for maybe 5 minutes yesterday, but no, not really.
There's not a lot of flipper time on the pig farm.
Nope, never used them before.
I think it was Sam Stewart. God, I've interviewed so many people, I forget, but I think it was Sam Stewart. I asked him about how the water smelt, and he said that it smelt pretty bad. And I said, I bet you that Colten didn't think it smelled bad. I bet you, like, coming from the pig farm, the water smelled great to him. How did the water smell to you?
I didn't notice it. It was fine. No problem for me.
That's killer. And did the water seem contaminated at all or dirty?
It definitely seemed dirty, I guess. Yeah, I guess especially with the stories you've heard about past games, athletes like swallowing a bit of water, then getting really sick. I mean, even Thursday night, I swallowed a little bit of water when we were practicing the fins, and I was pretty sick for like half an hour, maybe an hour. It was really nauseous, but then I was fine. So yeah, I don't know if it was from the water or maybe I don't know what it was, but yeah, I was fine after that.
Wow. Was your girlfriend there in the capacity of your coach? Did she have access to you all day?
No, Armin McCormick has my coach's pass. I mentioned giving it to Allie, but she didn't want to take the responsibility. She gets too nervous.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I wouldn't want that either. That's some scary shit. And how is that? How is everyone acting around you with those finishes? Did you expect to do better? Are you just happy to be there? And how's your support team talking to you and treating you?
Yeah, my support team's been really good. They've been telling me to keep my head up and keep hammering. I mean, I knew the swim and the run were not going to be great for me. The pig flip event went all right. I think I did it I mean, those three events, I think I did as well as I could have. The pig was just a little bit tough, but I got through it. And then event 4, I was really excited about, and I was in second in my heat, and we just got done with a set of 7. I was getting ready to pick up my game plan was to get through the set of 7, pace it, and then kind of hammer down through the set of 6. And I was in second in my heat. Scott Panchik was in first. And then I got some pretty bad hamstring cramps on the wall walks, and that slowed me down quite a bit. And then I got passed by a handful of guys, but I think I wouldn't have caught Scott, but I think I definitely would have gotten second in that heat. That didn't happen, but I mean, shit happens.
Yeah, the camera was on you, and when you would walk between the wall walks and the thrusters, you couldn't even straighten your legs. You looked like you had 2 wooden legs. You were basically like had to rotate your body to walk. And is that painful, that cramping?
Yeah, I mean it hurts, but yeah, like you can just feel it start to cramp going up the wall, and you finish the rep, and there's a few times where I had to kind of sit down and stretch it out to stop it from cramping, and I couldn't really bend my legs, so otherwise it would cramp up again. So I tried to do the wall walks with straight legs, and my quads started to cramp a bit. But yeah, I got through it. Thrusters didn't feel bad. Even after I started cramping, the thrusters were fine. Yeah, it sucks that it happened on that workout. I think I probably could have been somewhere around the top 5, maybe.
I think that's right. I think you would have been somewhere between 5 and 7 at worst, probably, because I think Jay Crouch was the guy close to you, and he finished 5th overall.
Yeah.
Had you done a single wall walk since the Open in training?
A little bit, but like at home in my garage, I don't really have a spot that I can do wall walks, and there's just not space for that, so I don't do a ton of them. But I've done a few, but it's not a movement I'm great at. But I think I held my own for the most part. Then I was able to move fast through the thrusters.
When's the last time you cramped?
I don't really cramp hardly ever, except for my calf. Just from an injury that I had a few years ago. It's still kind of lingering. I tore my Achilles and my calf a little bit a couple years ago. And so that will cramp when I do like a high volume double unders or like go for a really long trail run or something like that. So then it'll cramp for like on and off for a few days. But other than that, I don't really cramp. I think I just drink maybe too much water and then wasn't replacing kind of the electrolytes and potassium.
It didn't look like you would be able to do the thrusters because your legs looked like they were stuck in the locked position. I mean, they were so straight that it almost looked like your knees were hyperextended. I mean, it was crazy. But you just picked the weight up and went, and they just bent, and you're saying the thrusters didn't exacerbate it. It was just strictly the wall walks.
Yeah, it was just on the wall walks. I mean, I first tried cramping and I got through the thrusters. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do them or not, but I decided to go for it. And yeah, they felt fine. The thrusters felt fine all the way through.
What has your girlfriend been saying to you since as the events go on? Does she give you pep talks?
Yeah, she gives me pep talks and just encourages me and tells me to have fun and kick ass and stuff like that. She's always out there screaming, and she's probably my biggest supporter.
Are you being hard on yourself, or are you being good to yourself?
I definitely wanted to do better. But I mean, I did as well. I performed as well as I could have, I think, on the first 3 events, and then obviously didn't do as well as I could have on the 4th. And I think once we do get more into kind of classic CrossFit type stuff, I'll do better. I knew that the swimming and the running wasn't going to be my best stuff, so I kind of expected that, and it's just stuff I need more time to work on.
Have you guys had
Go ahead.
Have you had a chance to see or touch the Husafell sandbag yet?
No. I was watching some strongman videos on YouTube though, just seeing how they kind of navigate it, and the actual stone, and seeing them do stone carries. I think they did it at the Arnold a couple years ago, so I watched that event, and they all pretty much did it the same way. They just picked it up, I guess the skinny end down, but ours doesn't really have a skinny end. It's kind of more of just a straight triangle. So I don't know if there'd be too much to it.
How much does that bag weigh? Do we know?
I haven't heard. I'm not sure if he's released that yet.
I'm guessing I feel like it's going to be an odd weight. Like it's not going to be an even 200 pounds. I guess it's going to be somewhere around 200 pounds, like 187 or 212 or something like that.
Yeah.
But is that I wouldn't say that's a classic CrossFit, but do you think that you're just like the grunt work that you do on the farm every day type stuff prepares you for that pretty well?
Yeah, I think it definitely could. I'm looking forward to that workout. I've been doing a lot of rope climbs and skiing, so I'm excited to see how I stack up. Even if I don't, place top 10 or something like that, it's always interesting to me to see how well things progress that I'm working on. So I'm excited to see that. And then, sandbag is just going to be pick it up and go. I think longer arms will help if you can get a better grip on it. But, there's really, you're not going to, you just have to pick it up and go. That's all there is to that sandbag.
Colten, you're in 32nd, and tomorrow they're going to cut down to 30.
Tomorrow's a rest. Tomorrow's a rest day.
Sorry, in 2 days they're going to cut down to 30. What is that weighing on you? Are you like, okay, I fucking really, really, really got to get this?
Not really, because even if there weren't cuts, I'd want to do as well as I can. So it's not really. It's kind of it's in my mind, but my goal wasn't to come here and get like 20th place or whatever. So, if I end up 25th on Saturday and I get cut, then whatever, send my ass home and I'll start game planning for next season. I don't give a fuck about a 25th place finish or whatever. So that's where I am after 10 events, and that's where I am. And I think I deserve to get cut then.
What are you going to do tomorrow on your rest day?
I'll probably do some active recovery, and I'll probably see what events are going on. I think teams start tomorrow, so I'll probably watch some of them go and hang out over there at the campus, and just do recovery work, make sure my nutrition's good, and take care of stuff like that.
Did you consider cutting your hair for the event?
A little bit. I could buzz it, but I've got some scars on my head, so I don't know if it would look very good.
What are your scars from?
Well, when I started CrossFit Kilo, on Thursday mornings at 5, we would have a skills class, and that day we were working on bar muscle ups, and this is probably 4 years ago. I was just getting to be able to do bar muscle ups, and I couldn't do multiples yet. So we were working on that this morning, and I was over at the short bars with all the girls, and the guys were over at the tall bars, and I was like, fuck this, I can go with the guys. I can get on the tall bars, because it's really hard for me to jump that high at that time. I've got better hops now, but back then it was hard to get to those bars. And at this rig at Kilo, there's a bar that goes kind of from the rig to the wall. It's the tallest bar, and there's nothing above that. That's what the guys were using. That was a little too tall for me to get to, so I was going to use the one it's horizontal to it, but there's a beam above that. And I did a bar muscle up, and it was a really good one. It was a really good one, but I hit my head on the beam, and I cut my head open.
Did you knock yourself out?
No, but it was bleeding a lot, and it bled for most of the day. And I had my buddy come to my dorm room, and I kind of held it together, and he did the liquid stitch glue stuff, and he glued it.
Wow.
Hey, do you have one of those guns on the farm, like those staple guns? So like if like two pigs get in a fight or animals get in a fight, you just go staple the wound shut?
Yeah, we've got staple guns and things like that.
Do you do that?
No, we don't usually staple the pigs. If pigs are fighting, usually the worst thing that happens, because these pigs are detusked, so they can't hurt each other too bad. Otherwise, they hurt each other pretty bad. Because once we group them together in the herd, they'll fight when they're younger to kind of get their social hierarchy together. And usually the worst thing that happens is they get like cauliflower ear, so their ear will swell up real big. And then I have to go in with a scalpel and I'll drain that. But then after that's fine.
At the starting line of the sprint, what was your plan? Did you think, okay, I'm going to try to get out ahead in front of all these guys? and like just keep them back with my body, or did you know?
Well, I mean, there wasn't really much I could do. I just had to go at my pace. I knew if I went out too hot, I was gonna die off at the end. And so I wasn't really thinking about trying to keep up with those guys because I knew there would be other heats. So I just had to run as fast as I could for that race. And yeah, that was kind of the plan. Go out hard and then find a pace I could stick to for most of the rest of the race, and then kick hard again at the end.
It looked like in some of the heats there was some pushing and shoving. Did you witness any of that?
Not in my heat. We spread out pretty quickly. It seemed like I don't think, at least from where I was, I don't think we were very similar speeds. I think we all kind of had our own speed, and it spread out pretty quick.
When are you what's it called? Are you eating enough food? Are you getting enough nutrition? Are you eating enough food during the events and during the days, or I guess today? Is that going as planned?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, today was a little bit tough because we didn't know how long we were going to be at the arena, and we didn't know we were gonna do all the events before we got a chance to leave and like get any more food. So I had some food, but it wasn't a ton. I mean, I think pretty much everybody else was in the same boat. I think some of the guys who have had more experience, they packed quite a bit of food. But I know there's a lot of athletes that were just kind of getting by on like bars and those kind of carbohydrate gel packets and a lot of things like that, and drinking a lot of calories, carbs and such.
Is the testing done for you in terms of the COVID testing? You're good to go? None of the athletes have to be tested anymore except for the ones that are like suspect?
Yeah, as far as I know. So once you pass your test when you arrive for check-in on Monday, I think you're good to go. Unless I guess you start getting symptoms, you're supposed to tell them they're supposed to test you. But man, I doubt that happens.
Right. You mean if someone gets symptoms, they just suck it up and go?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was your experience with the opening ceremonies today?
It was all right. I mean, that stuff's kind of boring to me.
Me too.
But yeah, you stand there for a while. National anthem was cool. The flyover was cool, but other than that, it was just kind of boring.
Yeah, the flyover is cool as shit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of it,
it takes a lot of work to coordinate that.
The rest of it just seems like stuff adults do. Like your parents should be doing that. Like not like us, not like kids. Like we should just be hanging out, and then the flyover happens, and then it's done.
I think it's strange that it happens in the middle of a competition day for you guys. Like that seems like you already have 4 events today. There's a lot going on. That's another thing to throw into your schedule. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, I agree. It was weird, and that was just kind of a pain. Having to carry an extra uniform with you and make sure you had everything right, and you had to wear certain shoes and socks and everything. Just kind of a pain.
Oh man, more adult stuff. I would hate that.
I mean, it sounds like you had to pack like 5 or 6 outfits just for one day today. Like, do you have anything left for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I just end up wearing that uniform to compete in most of the day after the swim because I didn't want to pack a bunch of stuff. I wanted to make more room for food and things like that.
Did you do any? Go ahead, Brian.
No, just saying, like those are the little logistical things that I don't think a lot of people can appreciate about, just trying to plan for one day at the games.
Did you do any media today? Did any camera people ask you questions? Did you talk to anyone?
Nope, no, I didn't want to talk to anybody in the media today.
Was there a lot of media in the corral or in the pits when you were hanging out? Did you see a lot of media?
No, I think kind of the most media I saw was maybe on the bus on the way to the lake. There's some cameras on there, and they're talking to people. But other than that, I didn't really notice a ton.
And there got people making the documentary. Is it like I saw Scott Panchik has a camera person with them? I know there's a couple of people making documentaries. Is that basically what it is?
Yeah, I think probably making the next CrossFit Games documentary. I would assume. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, you got to get some airtime on there. I can't believe they're not coming up to you. They're probably scared of you.
that's what I'm going for. Trying to be unapproachable. I don't want to make any friends.
You're not joking, are you?
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
He's in his zone. He's in his zone. How was the crowd for you today? Was the energy good? Was it different in the Coliseum than on the outdoor arena?
Yeah, it was really good. I was a little bit surprised by how many people were there in the outdoor arena since it's Wednesday, first day.
Me too. I was surprised how many people were there too.
Yeah, it looked pretty filled.
Have your mom and dad called you?
Yeah, I've been talking to them on the phone, mornings or evenings.
And it must be getting kind of real for them, right? They're like, holy shit, there's our son.
Yeah, I think so. I think my dad definitely understands more now. Like, that I'm not just kind of fucking around working out for a hobby, and that it's kind of like a job for me. It's how I look at it. It's something that I dedicate a lot to.
It's interesting that you're in this group of athletes where some of them are working out in 10,000 square foot facilities. They have body workers, they have nutritionists, they have multiple coaches, they have specialty coaches. And yet in your little cube, you don't even have enough room to do wall walks on the wall. And yet you've ended up in the same place as them. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pain in the ass with a lot of the stuff that I do. I mean, training in my garage, I guess I'm pretty lucky that my dad lets me use most of our garage to train in. But I mean, I still probably have, it's maybe 20 by 15 feet is the area that I work out in. So I've got some cardio machines and an 8x8 lifting platform that I made, and I've got a squat rack and a pull-up bar. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, I'm saving up money to build a house next summer, and I'm going to put a nice gym in there for me to train in, and I think that'll help a lot. But I mean, a lot of this sport is like, you know what you have to do. People just don't want to do it, and some people need a coach to tell them. Like, I know I need to run more and do wall balls and do rowing, and I do that shit all the time. I don't need a coach to tell me that I need to do that. It's just a matter of doing a lot of that stuff, and then a lot of the equipment type stuff, getting better at specific movements. That'll help when I get into go to home and have a nicer gym to train at. And I mean, like massage work and stuff like that. That's something I've been worrying about because I really trying to focus on recovery, and I don't really have access to like get a massage all the time and just in my schedule. So I mean, I do a lot of work with like Hypervolt and Theragun massage guns and like Normatec attachments and a lot of stretching, and that's really helped a ton. I'm just really dedicated and consistent with that stuff.
I just got figured out what your next Colten Mertens t-shirt should be. You know what you need to do. Most people just don't want to do it. That's great. Yep. That's a great line. When you say you're going to build a house, are you like literally you're going to build it? I wouldn't ask most people that, but I would know most people are talking about someone else building it, but I think maybe it's appropriate to ask you, are you going to build it?
Well, I'll do a lot of the interior work. Like I know how to do electricity and plumbing and all that stuff from the farm. My dad's really good with all that stuff, so I think he's going to help quite a bit once we kind of get to that phase. But there's a lot of things that you need pretty heavy equipment for, so we won't do most of that stuff.
Do you have access to a 400-meter track that you've been using during the training this year?
I have there's some trails behind our house. There's timber behind our house, and I've marked off some trails. I have a 400-meter, 800-meter, 1K, and a 1 mile loop that I can run. So I run on a lot of trails. I don't get out to a flat track a whole lot.
Damn.
I think that when I was watching the Masters events on day one, I think that the consistent running on pavement was maybe something that a lot of them hadn't done. And I think that, varying the surface you run on, whether it's an air run or a track or a road or a trail, in a circumstance like that can go a long way. But, if you don't get the trail, then you're probably not doing it, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Blake Barlow said in the comments on YouTube, this dude is savage. I know. I agree. It's almost like it's almost unreal, right? you definitely are. It's definitely a grassroots training effort. It's definitely like, I mean, I know you have the background in wrestling, but between the full-time job and ask him if I can make a documentary about him, please. That's what someone said. I know. Wouldn't that be awesome? Someone needs to do it, at least a short one to start with. There is a, well, let me pivot here for a second. It kind of is in the same vein of what I'm trying to say that I can't get out of my mouth. You showed yourself welding, by the way, which I think is a brilliant Instagram post, your own handstand kind of contraption when they announced the handstand walk. I just don't think most people would make that effort, let alone have the skill. Did you actually finish making it?
Yeah, I made the whole thing. I went and bought the metal that morning, and I cut it on the bandsaw and smoothed it out with the grinder and welded it up. And I made the handstand walk, stairs, and ramps a few years ago in 2018 when we went to the games on a team. And I think that's when they first had the ramp and stairs. So I made that a few years ago. So I already had that.
Okay, awesome. And when I saw you making it, so that was an old video.
Oh no, I just the parallels I made last week.
Oh, right. And how long does it take you to make those? Because when I saw you doing that, the whole time I was thinking to myself, oh shit, is this cutting into his training time? Like, is this like a 3-day project?
No, it took me maybe an hour and a half. I was probably maybe an hour. It didn't take very long.
And you just have that welding equipment laying around the farm?
Yeah, it's just in the shop at the farm. I was actually gonna build a pig. I had the blueprints all drawn up, but I didn't have time to. I wouldn't have time to make it work with the training that week.
You were gonna make a steel one?
Yeah, I was gonna make it out of steel and then put plywood on the outside and rubber mats. That way I could flip it.
It's pretty cool that they had the pig this year where you didn't flip it for distance. You just flipped it for reps, don't you think?
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's. I mean, it probably didn't make a huge difference. But yeah, I liked it. It's just more like concrete and yeah, it's more concrete.
I just remember the last time they had it that occasionally someone would flip it and there'd be like a foot or less of the pig on the line. And then it's like, man, I got to do one more flip for 6 inches or something like that. So that eliminates it with the 5 reps.
Yeah, reps is better.
This YouTube shit is crazy because people are nice, but I just love the harassment of Colten. Listen to this one. What are the chances he wins the Spirit of the Games? And then they write 0.
Yeah.
The same person wrote 0?
Yeah. Oh, it's classic. It's so
Asks
good.
and answers his own question or her own question.
I mean, the question is a statement, but I mean, this guy's here, like, you know, he accidentally made a friend. I mean, you know what I mean? Did you make any friends? Not by choice. and Scott Polinsky says he's so grounded, it's truly inspirational. I agree. It's like there's a singular focus to him. Go ahead, Brian.
Scott's coming up here. I think tomorrow. They're coming up to watch the games.
Who? Oh, you know who that is? Oh, that's the guy. That's awesome. That's the guy. So it's someone you know. Oh, okay. No, but that's not the guy harassing Colten in a nice way. What other things have you made for training? You made the. Did you make your own pull-up bar? What else? Did you make your own squat rack?
Yeah, I made my own squat rack and pull-up bar and lifting platform. Can't think of anything else.
What's the most you put on your squat rack? Most weight? Have you put 500 pounds on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 525. I had my PR on that squat rack at home.
And did you have any concern? Say that again.
The floor is actually a little bit unlevel in that garage. It was a little bit sketchy, and it's a little bit difficult lifting in there. But the weights feel a lot lighter when I get to like a competition or get back to kilo. I get on a level 4.
You felt like a homemade welded squat rack would have the integrity to hold 500 pounds. You were never like, as you put each plate on there, you're kind of like holding your breath.
No, it's solid, man. It doesn't move at all.
Damn. Damn. It's so out of my world. It's so like such man shit. Like I have tools around just in case someone else asks to use them. I can pretend like I'm a man. You actually have tools and you use them and you build shit.
Maybe a long shot here, Colten. Do you have any idea why Alexander Elin had to withdraw?
Good question.
No, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed to see that he came. He was the only individual Russian athlete who was able to make it here, and then he had to withdraw in the third event.
Do you even know who he is, Colten? Would you recognize him if you saw him?
Oh yeah. I do a lot of online comps in the off season, and him and Stas Solodov do them as well. And it's always us three at pretty much at the top every time. It's like I beat one of them, then the other one beats me, or I beat one, but then I tie the other one. So yeah, I definitely knew who he was.
Oh yeah, this is a good idea. Someone said he should get a power tool sponsorship. I totally agree. Or Tyson Meats or some shit. Hey, yeah, here's a good question. Have you made a pegboard?
No, I'm gonna make one this summer actually.
Yeah, awesome. Hey,
I don't have a place to put it right now, but
that's a good Instagram post, making of a pegboard. People love pegboard shit. Love. What was your girlfriend's name again? Allie, the cameraman, needs to film that while you're Allie, the girlfriend, needs to stop being Allie, the girlfriend, and be Allie, the cameraman, and film the pegboard making.
Yeah, she's moving in a few weeks, actually.
Oh, she into the farm. Is that why you're telling us you're going to build a house? Is that how you lured her in? You're like, no, come on over, baby. Eventually, I'm going to build a house.
Yeah. We're thinking about building it this summer, but then lumber prices and everything went so high. I just figured it'd be better to wait a year and see if the prices came down, and I think they have a good bit so far.
Oh, they have come down?
Yeah, a bit.
Thank God. It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just go up.
It went up to like 30. It would have been like 30% more expensive.
Yeah, it's skyrocketed. Brian, I only have one more question for him, and I'm so thankful you gave us your time, Colten. Do you have anything serious? Because this is kind of it's a serious question, but it's kind of funny.
Not so much a question. I just think it was a day one today, and I'm excited for Friday for him, which will be day two, because I think he's been pretty honest with it. Were a tough slate of events for him today, and then obviously the one he was excited about had get cramped up in it. But I think that it's likely there'll be some stuff that he can really shine on Friday. So I hope that that's the case.
How many people do you think you talked to today at the event? Like, do you think you talked to less than 10?
No, I started less than 10 conversations, but no, I talked to quite a few people. Talked to a lot of people walking around, competitors like in the age groups or fans and stuff like that, and talked to other athletes briefly, and had some conversations with them, but not a ton.
What do you think about the fans? Like when you go out, do people stop you and take a picture with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun. I like talking to them.
You're comfortable with that?
Yeah.
You don't just say, "Hey, I'm not here to make friends," but that's just the athletes. The fans are okay.
Yeah, the athletes is a different thing. I mean, just they're competitors,
If fans started buying you like hamburgers and like food and stuff, you couldn't eat it, huh? You couldn't, because you wouldn't know what was in it, right? Because I was gonna say, hey man, we should put a shout out to the fans. Hey, shower Colten with gifts and food, and it would be just great to start something up like that. Like every time someone saw you, like but I just realized you can't eat any of that shit, right? You have to guard everything you put in your mouth.
Yeah, it'd be sketchy. Could be some sabotage.
Right. Absolutely. I'd be the first to sabotage you. I wouldn't give you steroids. I'd give you X-Lax.
Oh, that'd be great.
Colten, thank you so much. If you dare to come back on with us again, the first thing I'm going to ask you about is whether you're going to go to the after party, but we'll save that question if we get lucky enough to talk to you again. I really appreciate you letting us into your hotel room, giving us time during this crazy intense week. I really am stoked. I feel like I don't want to call you a friend yet. I feel like that would be presumptuous, but I'm definitely I'm definitely courting you. Brian and I are courting you. So thank you for letting us have a second shot at you.
Yeah, absolutely. I always enjoy talking to you guys. Good seeing you again.
Yeah, you said the same thing to Armin. I listened to the podcast. I'm looking for something a little bit more.
Well, maybe next time.
All right. All right, brother. Thanks for coming on live with us. Give your girl a big smile and a hug from Brian and I and Ryan. And we'll be watching you on